right, welcome to Good News Friday. Mike Simon is here. I'm Joey Yarbrough. Welcome back, everybody. We sure do appreciate you making time out of your day to listen to what we have to say as we seek out good news. We're constantly in search of it. There's enough bad news out there. You hear it all the time, every day, all day. But there's so many more good things going on, stories that we are hearing from our customers that are transforming precious souls that they're working with and empowering people. And that transformation process, I'm happy to report, is alive and well. And that's the reason that Mike and I are here every week to talk with you from Simon Solutions, the creators of CharityTracker and Oasis Insight. We're CRM, and we take pride in the work that's going on from an innovation perspective as we work with getting information, collecting data. But what do you do with that data and what do you do with that information? That's where we see it as personal here, as we see our responsibilities, knowing what we know and how that it works, to be able to focus in on that collection of data, but taking the data and really transforming people's lives. This is so important. Mike, we're working with a lot of agencies that's focused in on adoption, foster care. And you know, when you talk with these people, it's so personal. Many of them, their story is something like this. I was a foster child and I was adopted into a foster family. So I wanted to create an agency that was focused in on allowing this kind of situation to occur with foster parents out there that's looking to adopt children. So you hear this story and it's real personal. Keeping track of this type of information from both the parents that potentially are available as a match to a child that is in need of a family, putting these two together. There's something very special about family, Mike, and you know, as to how that we think of a family, you know, and how that it works, that family unit, how much nurture and how much love that a foster parent can have for a child, and just nurturing them as they grow up and being with them every step of the way. Keeping track of data, though, an essential part of making that match. So when we hear stories, Mike, about how that they are bringing parents their information, keeping track of this particular set of data, but then the information on children that may be allowed to go into a foster home like that, and working from that perspective, I got to tell you, man, it warms our hearts, because this is really so important that we're able to match these two together.
Oh, and I remember Krista Petty, who worked for us for years.
Yes.
And she was volunteering at a foster care adoption agency, and she later decided to go full time into that, and she left us to go to that. And I understand she's doing a real big job in a state, and in which she's moving that around. But she needs data, and Absolutely. She needs to be able to collect this data and have it stored somewhere, so that she can go back and look at the data, and she can put the notes in it and stuff like that. And so, you know, using CharityTracker to track foster children is essential.
Yeah.
And you know, and I like the conversation you had with one of our potential customers.
Yeah.
And she wants us to put the whole system into another language.
Precisely, right?
And then so they can track overseas and bring them over here. And so that's something we got to think about and work on development for. But there's an ever-growing concern for that kids get into good foster parents, and so that lives can be nurtured. And you got to have data to keep track of everybody, and keep that data confidential too. You know, it's got to be HIPAA compliant. It's got to be confidential, and you've got to handle that confidential information in a very special way. And CharityTracker does it all, and that's what I'm so excited about.
And like these stories, I tell you, man, it's heartwarming when you hear the story behind the agency and the creation of the agency. And usually what we find is that that's something personal. There was a reason for the creation of the agency. Many times it actually has the person's name behind it, and it's just a really awesome experience hearing how the Charity Tracker is helping collect data on the parents, the potential foster parents, but then the children that's available, and matching them together. This is really what we call our good news. This is strong, and how that we're actually, being able to provide a platform to enter the data. And you hit on this, HIPAA compliance. We have the capability of doing an audit trail. We have the ability to really dive in as to the collection of the information so that we can provide you with the confidence when you enter information that's private in nature, confidential. It's not going to be shared with everyone. So keeping track of this data, you're able to do that. You're able to match the qualifications, the specifics there that are required for a foster parent to a child, but you're not going to compromise the information. It's so important for the integrity of this. We're excited about potentially where we're going with this. And you're just talking about the language thing. Mike, here's where we find ourselves as we branch out through the entire world. And we have conversations all day long with agencies from around the world that's also looking to do the same things that we do here in the United States in English speaking, right? They want it in their own unique language, understandably, so that they can use the interface and it all works there accordingly. You know what? I believe this, and this is just my hope and my dream here, that very soon, because of the capabilities, some innovation from technology continuing to advance. Think about where we were 5 years ago and where we are today. This is our hearts here at Simon Solutions. We want to go into the entire world and bring everyone in where they're able to collect data, information, set up particular goals, and be able to work from that perspective to get to where you are going. Put everyone on the same page at the same time. Meanwhile, that's where our hearts are from a development perspective. So we're always listening. Isaac, our lead developer, he's always thinking ahead, We talk about this all the time, and you hear Isaac, he gets excited about this because we're talking about not where we are right now. Granted, we're happy about this, and we want to certainly do what we can, but where we're going in the future is bright when it comes to innovation. We've just scratched the surface of what we can do from our platform here, and we're never satisfied with the status quo. Family, uniting families, putting everyone together in that family type unit. For all of you out there that do that, it's personal to you. Hey, we're honored to be part of that. For all of us here at Simon Solutions, may God bless. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk with you next week.